Best bait casting rods for bass. Hey, anglers! Welcome back to the channel, where we dive deep into fishing. If you're passionate about bass fishing and want to up your game, you're in the right spot. Today, we're breaking down the best bait casting rods for bass, whether you're a weekend warrior or a seasoned pro. These rods will give you the perfect power, control, and precision balance to land that next big catch. So, grab your gear, and let's cast right into it. Number 1. Shimano Poison Adrena PAD 170 MHB. The Shimano Poison Adrena rods seek to set a new high-performance bass fishing rod standard. The Poison Adrena combines a slew of proprietary Shimano technologies that provide the ultimate blend of strength, sensitivity, and functionality. This is partly thanks to a brand new Spiral X-Core blank construction that utilizes multiple layers of material wound in a crisscrossing diagonal pattern to increase strength while using less material than standard blank construction. This blank construction process helps eliminate blank twists for better casting distance and accuracy. This isn't the most expensive rod in Shimano's lineup, that would be the Poison Ultima series at about 3 times this hefty price tag, but it's a high-end tool. It came straight from a Japanese concept showroom and includes Fuji SICK guides and a CI4 Plus proprietary reel seat. What I liked was the blank, which proved not only light, but ultra-sensitive, and handled lures far below and above the stated weight ratings with grace. I didn't expect to like the feel of the full carbon monocoque handle, but it was quite comfortable and did not get slippery in wet or otherwise sticky conditions. There are also Poison Adrena models made for crankbaits and BFS applications, but this all-around model covered a lot of bases. Number 2. Fenwick World Class WLDB 68mm FC. I picked this rod up in the late winter and started throwing lures like shed wraps and small ribbed swimbaits, lures I usually heft on spinning tackle, and I never put it down. Through the subsequent months, I used it for Senkos and flukes, and I was convinced of its value when I started using it to throw finesse poppers in the Potomac's grass beds. Despite being able to throw the lures a mile with accuracy, what truly won me over was the heft it displayed in steering violent fish away from snags and otherwise certain escape. It's a beast in sheep's clothing. It also has premium components like titanium guides with thin zirconia inserts, as well as a unique, contoured reel seat. Just make sure you get a light enough reel so that you don't overpower the rod. Number 3. St. Croix Mojo Base Trigon JOZ 71 MHF. St. Croix refers to this as their all-in tool, and with good reason. I found myself using it with Texas rigs, chatterbaits, and buzzbaits and didn't skip a beat. I've fished several generations of the Mojo lineup, and this one is truly transcendent, taking them from a quality tool at a reasonable price to something that lies more squarely in the top shelf category. They employ SCI carbon fiber blanks, stainless steel guides with aluminum oxide inserts, and a comfortable reel seat, which meant that it stayed on the deck of my boat nearly non-stop. The only initial drawback was the angled cut of the rear portion of the handle, but once I got used to that, I found this rod to be a consistent choice for a variety of techniques. The Mojo Trigon lineup has a wide variety of lengths and actions, so it's possible to build a complete toolset from this one group. Number 4. Dobbins Champion XPDC 744 CFH. I know that a jig is a big fish bait. For that reason alone, I endeavor to fish them more, but it's also a lure category, including football jigs, flipping jigs, and swing head jigs, that requires incredible feel and sometimes massive hook sets. I've beaten the crap out of this rod, using it to dislodge lures from deep trees, pitch into the thickest cover I can find, and occasionally throw baits above its ratings with reckless disregard for its health, and it consistently handles everything I dish out. I keep one stored at a lodge in Mexico just for mano-a-mano combat and obtained a second to use at home. The Fuji Tangle-Free K guides add to the durability, as does the lightweight Fuji reel seat. This rod can also be used for Carolina rigs and as a light punching stick. It's also available in a cork, split grip model, but I've fished both, and this is one rod where I genuinely prefer the full handle. It allows for two-handed monster hook sets and winching big bass out of heavy cover. Number 5. GE Loomis IXM Pro 812C JBR. With the rise of forward-facing sonar, jerk baiting has become more than just a situational or seasonal technique. Now it's a year-round passion, and finding the right tool for the job is critical. It has to have enough flex to let the lure work violently side to side, but also the sensitivity to feel a base breather that same lure when there's slack in the line. This rod lives up to that challenge, and you can disregard the lure weight recommendations because I've chucked jerkbaits up to 3/4 ounce on it with no loss of effectiveness. It has Fuji K frame guides with alkanite rings, but the true secret sauce is the multi-taper technology incorporated in the blank, which provides the best of all worlds. Number 6. Shimano SLX C75H. Finding a quality rod in the $100 range that will handle multiple techniques is hard, but this is a diamond in the rough. I initially thought it would be a punching and frogging rod, and it does those things well, but I also like it for football jigs, heavier soft swim baits, and larger whopper ploppers. It's a true beast, ready to do combat, whether you're using heavy fluorocarbon or monofilament or 50-pound braid. I put it to the test against big stripers and catfish, too, and it emerged victorious a disproportionate amount of the time. It even looks upscale, especially when matched with one of Shimano's SLX reels. The titanium oxide guides and custom reel seat are touches you might not expect in a reel at this price point. Number 7. Falcon Low Rider LFC 7MH. Falcon started making the Low Rider series of rods nearly 3 decades ago, and while they've engineered consistent refinements, they've never given up on the purpose-driven ethos that guides their products. This rod is super sensitive, and even if you generally don't like cork handles, this premium cork may change your mind. I found myself reaching for it whether I was casting a jig, pitching a creature bait into laydowns, or skipping a weightless Senko under docks. It's extremely sensitive and perfectly balanced, so you won't get carpal tunnel from the repetitive motion, and you'll be ready, willing, and able to fish a couple of extra hours each day. The Low Riders are also available in models with solid grip handles. Number 8. Abu Garcia Veritos PLX VTCR CW70-6. These Veritos rods, with white blanks and white EVA handles, look like they shouldn't be able to get down and dirty, but when it comes to performing on the water, they're one of the best bait casting rods for bass and taking a beating. Look, I'm rough on my equipment. I bounce across big waves in rough water. I stick the rod tips into the bottom to measure depth, or to retrieve a stuck lure. That means if it can be broken, there's a chance I'll break it, and this rod stood up to everything I could dish out, no worse for wear. It's also just fast enough to work well with lures that require sensitivity and just moderate enough that you'll like it as a spinnerbait rod, or for chatterbaits, and other moving lures. Whether it's a stalwart in your rod locker or something you throw in the back of your truck in case you pass a likely-looking fishery, this rod will be ready for action when you most need it. Number 9. Luz KVD Composite Cranking Cast Rod 7.4 Heavy. When the winningest crankbait angler of all time designs rods for that technique, you take them seriously. Kevin Van Dam has forgotten more about cranking than most of us will ever know, so it's no wonder he made one of the best crankbait rods. If you prefer a lightweight composite cranking rod to one wholly made of graphite, Luz KVD line needs to be in your rod locker. Some anglers may prefer a 7-foot 6-inch or even 8-foot rod for offshore pursuits, but this shorter rod casts every bit as far, regardless of whether you're at the low end of the upper end of its lure weight recommendations. I long preferred graphite cranking rods, but I know that I miss some fish when I use them with a hair trigger response time. Simply put, I pull the bait right out of their mouth. With a composite rod, that's far less likely. They simply get hooked and stay hooked longer. It can also handle castable umbrella rigs, big flutter spoons, and some of the best swim baits or glide baits. Alright, anglers, that wraps up our look at the best bait casting rods for bass. Whether you're going for power, precision, or that perfect cast, these rods will help you reel in that trophy bass. I hope this guide helps you find the rod that fits your style and takes your fishing game to the next level. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more fishing tips, gear reviews, and everything you need to catch the big one. And, of course, drop a comment below. What's your go-to bait casting rod for bass? I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and until next time, tight lines, everyone!